Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my tying bench. And today's fly, I'm going to tie you up a dry fly pattern that I come up with over the years, and I just call it the all black. It's similar to the black gnat, except for the wings I use black hackle tips instead of the gray duck quill segments. It's similar to that fly, and yeah, I also tie it. You can also tie it with black duck quill if you wish, but the hackle tips are a little easier. I use duck quill sometimes too when I tie it. And I generally tie it in a size 10 and 12. Yeah, I normally don't tie it down in the smaller sizes. And it's a good little fly to represent those larger mayflies that you see sometimes, the black ones. And it's a good attractive pattern as well. We all know how good black works. And I thought I'd share this one with you, and you might like to see it. So we'll get this little guy at the vise here, a fresh hook in, we'll get started. And I'm using the mustad, the TMC 100 rather, so I'm gonna just grab the size 12 this time for the video. So I will get that locked down in our vise. Now, danville 6/0 black is the thread I'm using here, and we'll start like we usually do on a dry fly, about hook eye length behind, and I'm gonna wrap that thread base back to about halfway here on the hook. Snip off the tag end. Then we're going to wrap back towards the eye on the thread base to about halfway point. And that's where we'll put our wings, right there. And I got a couple black hackle tips here, ready for the wings. Just got to measure them out and tie them in. Okay. And you want those, like any other wing, about the length of the hook shank's good. One key to a good dry fly is proportions, as we know. We'll come down and tie those in. A couple of pinch wraps. And I'm going to wrap back. 3 to 4 wraps, snip off the excess. And tie that down. Then come back towards the base of the wings here. Gonna lift up on my wings. And don't worry about these hackle fibers here. We'll take care of those, the ones you might get a few that stick out towards the eye there. Alrighty, so there's our wings. And I'm just going to make a few cross wraps between them, just to make sure they stay split for us. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I just find if you take too many, sometimes it can do more harm than good. So I usually only take a couple cross wraps through the wings, like so. Now we're going to wrap back to where we want to tie in our tail. And just about to the barb there. Just check my wings once again. They look good there. Okay. Now I'm just going to come in and guide my scissors with my thumb and snip those off, those little hackle barbels that are in front of the eye there. Snip those back. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so now I have another. By the way, for the cape, I'm just using one of the cheaper Chinese dry fly capes. I find they do a good job as well. And I got a hackle here, and I'm just going to strip off some of the barbs, the longer barbs for the tail. So I'll take a small amount of those off. And we'll hold those up to the hook here. I'm about hook shank length, and I'll come down and tie those on top here. Just like so, and then wrap back towards the barb. We'll stop just about in front of the barb. That's where we want our thread to stop. And I'll go back a couple more wraps. Alright, and I'm going to come in. There's our tail. Snip those barbels off there behind the wing. And I'll come in and get these ones here. Okay, now we'll bind those down. Okay, then come back. Alrighty, so now we're ready for the body, and I'm simply using some superfine dry fly dubbing, but if you don't have this particular dubbing, any black dubbing that you have will do the trick. Okay, so we're going to dub this on here. And less is more when it comes to dry flies, I find. We don't want an overly thick body on it, but a slight taper going towards the front. Alrighty. Okay, we got that on there, so first we'll come back towards our tail, get a nice wrap right in front of our tail there. Just like so, and then we're going to wrap forward. And you'll see the slight taper as we go up. Okay, I need just a tad bit more dubbing here. Okay, I'll add a little bit more on here. Alright, that should do the trick, folks, for us. Alright, that's good for our body. Alright, okay. So now, the hackles, I have 2 hackles prepared here. I sized them up for the hook and got them prepared to tie in. And in case you haven't seen me mention it before, this is your first time viewing, when I tie dry flies on my hackles, I like to, on the side that's going to be wrapped down first, I always like to remove, I don't know how good you can see that here, but a few barbels off the one side that comes down around first when you wrap. Just tends to help them not flare out towards the rear of the hook. Alright, we're going to tie those in right on top here, folks. Just like so. And we'll wrap towards our hackle tips and jump in front. And bind those down some more here. And they're in there good and snug, so I'll snip off the tips, ends of those hackles, or the butt ends. Alrighty. And the key to a good dry fly hackle is to get a smooth base as you possibly can for your hackles to wrap on. That makes a big difference, so that's why I'm making a few extra thread wraps there, just to smooth that base out there. And if you got any unruly fibers that got trapped down, just snip them out before you wrap. Just like so. Okay. Got one more stubborn one there. Get him out of there. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to wrap, folks. I'll grab my hackle pliers and I'll come down around here with the first hackle here and get him started. Grab on him with my pliers. And we'll come down around here. Whoops. Alright, that just slipped out on me there a little bit. That's no problem. I'll grab him with the other pliers I have. And we'll get 2 to 3 wraps behind the wing and 2 or 3 in front. It's usually what I go for on these. And when you make your first wrap in front of the wings, try to get it as close as possible to those hackle tips as you can. Alrighty, so then we'll come up with our first hackle and tie off right on top of the hook shank behind the eye. A couple wraps, keep good thread tension. And a couple more to bind that down good. Okay. So there's our first hackle, folks. Now grab this second hackle and we're going to do the same deal. We're going to come down around. And you still might get the odd fiber that's spliced towards the rear, but we can snip those out laterwards. But doing it this way it helps to prevent too many of them from doing that. So then we're going to do the same wraps. I get this hackle to stay in the pliers for me. Okay. We'll go behind the wing. Then we'll jump our hackle in front here. That little zigzag motion. And one more wrap. And we'll come up and tie him off as well. In the same spot as the first hackle. A couple wraps. Snug it up, release my pliers. A couple more securing wraps. Snug that down tight. I'm just going to come in. I got one unruly fiber behind the wings there. Snip him out. Alright, so now I'll just come in with my scissor points. Here, just rest my scissors on my thumb and snip those excess hackles out of there. any that are shooting out past the eye. Alright folks, that looks pretty good there. So next I'll do a whip finish on them. First I'm just going to throw in a half hitch here. Just like so. And one more. Alright, snug it down. Now we'll do a whip finish. So we'll get 4 or 5 turns on this guy. Okay. That's fine. Okay. And I got one trapped fiber there I do see, so I'll snip him out. There we go. Looks fine. Alright. Snug my thread down and I'll snip that off. There we go. Yeah, I just want to check and see if I got any trapped fibers here sticking out. See a couple there, but I think they're not really trapped. They're just out a little farther towards the front. That's all. There we go. Well, there we have it. There's another size. Well, this time it's a size 12, all black. That's what I simply call this fly, and I've had some luck on it over the years. So I always want to try to show you patterns that I've caught fish on myself before, so you can tie them up and hopefully have luck on them as well. So until next time, everyone, if you haven't seen my videos, I should mention rather, and you'd like to see more, hit the good old subscribe button there. And if you have any comments, just put them down below, because I always read them all. And throw in a like too if you wish. And until next time, folks, I want to say Happy New Year to all of you out there, and happy tying as well. And until next time, so long for now, and I shall see you all again soon. So long for now, folks.